Hello, hello, hello. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. I wonder what you're up to. Well, me, not much at all. Today is the day that, as a friend of mine calls, Single Awareness Day, and I'm very aware that I am single. I do not have a Valentine. Well, so I thought. When I woke up this morning, I had already had a conversation with myself, and I was pretty much saying, you know what? So what is Valentine's Day? It's just a day. It's gonna go. It's gonna come, and it's gonna go. You spent other Valentine's days alone. No big deal. So I had kind of settled in my mind that this was just going to be an ordinary day where I was going to be with my kiddos at the preschool, and we were going to have our Valentine's Day party, and I was going to serve my staff, and I was going to be their boo for Valentine's Day. Well, I left to run some errands, guys, and came back to all of this beautifulness behind me. Does that look like a girl who doesn't have a Valentine? It doesn't, but when I got in, I walked into my office and all this beautifulness is behind me. Behind me was on my desk, and I was sitting there puzzled thinking, who could have possibly sent this? And so I opened the card, read the card, and it pretty much talked about a period in my life that only very few people would know about. That means someone who was very, very close to me, or that only knows specific things about me. Well, when I read the card, it had a specific location, and I told you guys that I am directionally challenged. So I called someone who I thought could have possibly sent this to me. And for a minute, I was like, I might have to give him a second look. Because this card is very touching. And I was like, wow, I wouldn't have expected this from him. I mean, this is like super sweet, super out of his character. Not that he wouldn't do anything like this, but the verbiage on the card. So I call him, and by the time I call him, I try FaceTiming first. I'm in an all-out ugly cry. You know, the cry where your face is distorted and you're trying to get your words together because they're not very audible. I was in that cry. Well, thankfully he didn't answer the FaceTime, so I decided to call. And when I call, he knows me, and most people who know me very well is Nay. And he was like, I was like, thank you so much for the gift. It's so sweet of you. And he's like, whatever, Nay. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. I mean, I know I wasn't expecting it, so I'm going on and on and on. And he's like, Renee, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Stop it. He's like, well, what does the card say? So I read the card off to him, and he was like, yeah, try the other dude. And I was like, see, there you go, playing again. He always messing up a sweet, tender situation, right? So my tears start slowly drying up, and I'm sitting here thinking, who else could it have been? So I started thinking, I was like, girl, you're going to have to get your directions and your people together. Thought about it, so I called someone else. And when I called, he's like, well, he calls me Nay too. Nay, what does the card say? And I'm like, why does everybody keep asking about this doggone card? It doesn't have a signature, but he's like, what does it say? So I tell him, and he was like, well, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm directionally challenged, and I didn't realize where you and I met was also in another location where I met someone else. Oh my God. So I felt horrible. I felt horrible because I had upset the first person that I called, which was not my intention. I was not trying to be messy. But I was also very thankful that the other person who actually bought these items basically said to me, without giving up too much information, that basically he wanted me to know how much I had changed his life, basically. And that he was forever grateful for it. For the years that we've known each other. I'll just leave it like that. Yeah. But anyway, girls, listen. This is what you don't want to do. I just learned. Some of the ladies at the school had to kind of school me because, I'm new at this single thing. And, I don't really know all the rules. So They were like, first of all, Miss White, you're not supposed to call anybody and thank them for a gift. I'm like, well, that's so rude. Remember, I told you I was raised to be polite. So, of course, if I get a gift, I'm trying to thank someone. They're like, no, you're supposed to wait until the person who sent it to you brings it up or asks that you get your gift. And then you go, oh, yeah. And I'm like, child, this is too much work. I wasn't meant to be a player or a pimp. I mean, I'm just not good at this thing. So, yeah. Well, I don't know how true it is. Are you not supposed to call? Well, I guess my theory is kind of wrong because I did it and look how things turned out. But do you call people and say thank you when you get a gift and they didn't sign the card? Or do you just kind of hang back in the wing and seem like this ungrateful chick that doesn't have any manners? What do you normally do? Tell me. I need your help because I can't have this happen to me again. Yeah, I can't have that happen to me again. And to the person who sent this, it would be nice in the future that if you did sign your name on the card, that would help. I want to hear you guys' comments. Hopefully your Valentine's Day is awesome and that you're not in any trouble like me. Enjoy yourself. If you are single, don't worry about it, girl. It's just a day. I buy myself fresh flowers all the time. And I also take myself out to eat. Don't worry about it. It's going to come and go. But all in all, you'll always love yourself if you love yourself correctly. Self-love is always better than any love that I've ever received from anyone. You guys be blessed, but I need to hear your comments because your girl needs to get her game up. Talk to you soon.
Please like, comment, and share this post. I want to hear from you. Follow, like, and subscribe to Uncovering Eve on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.